Before we dive into today's episode, I have something truly special to share. Next September, I'll be leading an intimate women's retreat through the south of France and northern Italy, and you're invited. Picture this: mornings exploring the colorful markets of the French Riviera, afternoons sipping wine, and a hotel view with golden Mediterranean sunsets. Whether you love photography, food, or just want to reconnect with your playful creative self, this trip is designed for you. Spots are limited, so if all this sounds like your kind of adventure, please visit tourwithabsolutely.com and look for the tour France and Italy with Crystal. You can also send me a message or check out the show notes. Claudine Hemingway is a descendant of famed writer Ernest Hemingway. We bumped into each other at a party and decided to team up and dive deep into French history, but with a twist, by bringing a spotlight to those lesser-known creatives in France. This is History with a Hemingway. Welcome back, guys. I'm back with Claudine, and today we're talking about some new exciting exhibitions that are coming up this fall. So if you're coming to Paris, this one is for you. Definitely listen up.
Yeah, so there's quite a few. It's been, honestly, the last year and a half, there's been a few good things here and there, but thankfully we're past that Olympic thing when every single museum was like, we're going to do an exhibit about sports. Thank goodness we've gotten through that. But there's so many amazing exhibits coming up, opening up between September and October. Some of these, the reason I want to tell you is that if you are coming, even through, most of these go through January, there are a few of them that you're definitely going to want to get that ticket in advance, even if you're coming at the time of the year where you don't think it's busy, because all bets are off these days. One of the biggest, because of course it's the Louvre, and I have to talk about the Louvre first, and I'm so excited about this one, is an exhibit dedicated to Jacques-Louis David. Jacques-Louis David is known for his huge painting that he did of Napoleon's coronation, but he actually worked through 6 different regimes. He was one of the only people that was able to go from the Bourbons into the Bonapartes, survived Robespierre. He was even sent to prison. He was almost killed, but it was at the end and he was luckily released. But he is basically the one that constructed the narrative of the story of Napoleon. He's the one that painted the painting of Napoleon, the only one Napoleon ever posed, and it's an unfinished painting that's in the Louvre. But he even at one point lived in the Louvre. So when Louis XIV left, he let artists and the academies move into the Louvre, and later Mr. Jacques-Louis David moved into the Louvre. His family moved in there. Some of the paintings that he has done that are in the Louvre have never left the Louvre. They were painted in the Louvre and then hung up in the Louvre when it was a museum. So it's pretty amazing. He also was somebody that he would bring women into his atelier and teach them how to paint, when at the time women were not allowed to do that. And he was kind of like, screw you, I don't care. I'm going to teach all these people how to paint. So it's going to be an amazing exhibit. It's going to be in the Halle Napoleon, which is under the Sully wing. When you go in, it's probably going to be very highly attended. It's probably going to gear more towards the French and Parisians, but also people that love art. It's probably not going to be, usually the exhibits aren't a place that you see like the mass amount of tourists coming in, unless they just wander in there. But this might be, they haven't said, when they did years and years ago in 2019, when they did the big Da Vinci, you had to have a separate ticket for that. They haven't said that yet for this, but it is going to be amazing. It opens October 15th. It goes all the way to the January 26th. It's the 200th anniversary of his death. He died December 29th, 1825. I cannot wait to see this. I don't know if they're going to take down like the coronation of Napoleon, because it's such a huge painting. Sometimes when they have big paintings, they'll have the exhibit and then say, go upstairs to look at those. But they're already going to be closing the rooms where those paintings are for about a week and a half coming up this month, to take some of those, to move some things around. So it's going to be super exciting. I can't wait to see that. The other one that actually has more foreigners, I think, excited is the Orsay, and it opened on September 23rd, and it's dedicated to John Singer Sargent. He is an American artist. He lived in Paris. He moved here in 1874, and this is going to be, they haven't had an exhibit dedicated to him in more than 50 years here in Paris, and I have had people contacting me telling me that they're coming going to Paris just for a few days so they could see this exhibit. So it's in, I believe, in New York right now. So well, it's actually, well, it was in New York because there's no way it still is now. But it's going, that one's going to be really fantastic, but it's going to be interesting. I'm sure a lot of the French, I mean, they know who he is. But it's interesting. I've seen more talk about this on English websites and things than I have yet on the French side. And one that I'm really excited about is the Petit Palais. The Petit Palais is a beautiful place if you haven't been there. It's a free museum, but when they do exhibits, there's a charge. But there's going to be an exhibit of Jean-Baptiste Gouet, and he does these really beautiful portraits many times of that include children and young women, and they're just makes the most beautiful paintings. He's in a part of the Louvre that nobody ever goes to, the second floor, the Sully wing, which is my favorite, which is French paintings. And I love some of his paintings. So that I think is going to be great. And of course, we have an exhibit for at the Musée de Lingerie dedicated to one of your favorite names, Crystal. Can you guess?
Is it
One of
Bert?
your
Bert?
Yeah. So this one is dedicated, and I'm so excited for this one. This was in the States someplace. I don't know if it was in New York, but it was at not a huge, not like the Met. It was someplace else, but it's dedicated to Bert Vier. And she was, if you remember, I think in the first maybe 2 years we did an episode about her. So I'll put a link to that on the website. She was the first woman to own a gallery, and she was one that, exhibited, even a lot of female painters, but also she worked with Picasso and all these people. And they loved her. She was so smart and so amazing, but not the best businesswoman. And towards the end of her life, she really had nothing left, and she was sick. And all of these artists, including Picasso and everybody else, got together and sold paintings to get money to her. So I am so excited. I didn't know that was coming to the Orangery. I thought it was just in the US. I even ordered in the US the exhibit books. I was so excited. And then they announced it was coming here to the Orangery, and that opens on October 8th. Another exhibit in a place that probably nobody ever goes to, dedicated to another one of our podcast ladies, the Bibliothèque Nationale, the Francois Mitterrand location, which is down the Seine, like in Bercy. They do exhibits in the bibliothèque, the one on Richelieu and the one at Francois. And this one is dedicated to Colette, her life in words. And that opened on September 23rd. And I also can't wait to go and see that. And we did exhibit about her. Another one that's probably going to be highly attended because this place always does an amazing job with their exhibits, but also maybe one of the worst places to see an exhibit. The Jacquemart André, I love, love, love the Jacquemart André. We did an episode about Nellie Jacquemart, and she was amazing. But there is an exhibit dedicated to Georges de la Tour, and it just opened on September 11th, and some of his paintings are in the Louvre that were moved over there. He is this amazing artist, and he captured light in a way like his famous is the Carpenter, which is, Jesus and Joseph. And he has his hand in front of a candle, and it literally looks like when you put your hand in front of a candle and you see through, like the edges of your skin. He could paint that, and it's the most beautiful thing. The problem with the Jacquemart André is it's because it's an old house, and because when she gave the house to the Institut de France, they said you can't change anything. So they do the most amazing exhibits of art that are shown in teeny tiny rooms, and there are so many people you can't move. So I'm going to go, and I just always advise people to go at either the very start of the morning or go at the end of the day, or pick, like a Sunday morning is a great time to go. And when I go, I just basically walk past the first room. I don't look very closely at it. I go straight to the second room. So I get ahead of the crowd first thing in the morning. And then on the way out, I look at the first room and just put up with all the people. But then it makes it enjoyable because literally these are like going into somebody's small Parisian apartment and looking at art. But they do such an amazing job with exhibits. They're beautiful. The last one they did was just stunning. And they're a lot of times it's big, huge paintings, and you can't even stand back to look at it without people getting in front of you. So definitely go to this one. It goes until the 25th of January, but just plan your time of the day accordingly.
Yeah, I think those are great like ideas because like you said, it's not enjoyable if there's a million people.
Oh, I think like honestly, until I figured out how to do it, I don't think I ever saw a completed exhibit. I would get so frustrated because people were just pushing you and shoving you, and then they were pushing you back so they could take a picture of the whole thing, and I would just like lose it and be like, "Get me out of here!" And I would never see like the last three rooms.
Yeah, that's kind of my experience with a lot of museums.
And most people, most of my especially French friends that are in the art world all say the same thing. So it's, I almost wish, that they could have changed. They closed for like a year to do renovations, but I almost wish that they would move it onto the ground floor or something, because the opening rooms are like these big salons and they're big spaces. So it's almost like I wish, or they could put part of the exhibit down there and then the other part of it, like maybe the smaller paintings upstairs. But they don't ask me for notes. But it's such a beautiful place. Just go, but just go at the right times if you want to see the exhibit.
Exactly. It makes a huge difference and you'll actually enjoy it.
Yeah, and the story of it, I'll put a link on the website to listen to the story of Nelly Jacquemart, because it's a really fantastic story. And it's a beautiful place. They have a little cafe in there that they always have like a daily quiche, and it's so beautiful. And the ceiling is painted. It's just such a gorgeous space. And they do such an amazing job on the exhibit. And it's filled with like Italian art and Etruscan. It's just crazy, the stuff that's in the permanent collection. It's just such a beautiful place, but just pick your perfect time of the day to go.
Definitely, guys. So there you have it. Lots of fun things to do this fall. And definitely check out ClaudineHemingway.com to learn more. Follow her Instagram because there's always updates to come. Thanks for listening today, guys. If you're interested in learning more about Claudine, her tours, history, and the beautiful photographs that she posts all over Instagram, tune into her website, ClaudineHemingway.com.